it going? Let me get this. Whoop. I don't know if that helps or not. See this thing here? See that? It bothers me. It's like a weird part. You know how you get like a part in your hair or a cowlick or something? I got that right there on my chin. I never split my chin or nothing. I always have that, and I'm always self-conscious about that. I don't know why. I'm not self-conscious about my teeth. Well, a little bit I am, actually, I suppose. But just this thing bothers me, and I don't know why that gets me so much. Because you can see it on camera. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know. It bothers me. Not much I can do about it unless I shave. But if I shave, then you see my double chins, and I think that looks worse. So it's a lose-lose situation. Anyway, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I am the immortal Kevin Donovan. I am here to talk about you. Yeah. So a friend of mine, Cheryl, posted something on Facebook the other day, and I thought it was a very interesting premise, and I just wanted to make a video about it and chat about it. It was, how come people only say when you get angry at something and you snap or you break and you're aggressive or violent or mad or angry, people say, well, that's the real you coming out. But nobody ever says that's the real you coming out when you're doing nice and kind and peaceful things. When you're petting a puppy or you're holding a baby, people don't go, that's the real you. They only say that when you're spazzing out and you lose your shit and you're being mean or you've been pushed over the edge, and they go, that's the real you. What is that? What's the psychology behind that? I'm not a psychologist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not a doctor. I am not a counselor. I don't know. I have myself been through therapy and going through therapy currently. I have a better understanding of a lot of things, but I am by no means an expert. This video is purely my interpretation of things, and hopefully you enjoy that. Leave a like, leave a comment, share, and that would be very nice. But this is by no means any medical or psychological advice. This is just purely my opinions, and if you like them, great, and if you don't, leave a comment. Tell me why. I'm interested to know, for sure. When you spaz out, people, that's the real you. And when you're super kind and nice, that's not the reaction you get. That's a very interesting premise. Why is that? I also want to lead this into, because I was an alcoholic for a long time, and I was in the throes of addiction, which I don't like that term, the throes of addiction, but it's true. When you're in that, people always say that's the common thing. The drunk you is the real you. The drunk you tells the truth. No. That's fucking wrong. No. No, absolutely not. The drunk you, your mind is inhibited by the drug of alcohol. Your synapses isn't working the same way. Your brain chemistry is altered. Your mind, your thinking is altered. The real you doesn't come out when you're drunk. The drunk you comes out when you're drunk. Now, you definitely have less inhibitions because those walls are broken down by the alcohol. And you have less fear of consequence. Those walls are broken down by alcohol. You're likely to say probably some obnoxious shit because you don't give a shit if someone gets mad, or you don't take social cues. You're socially unaware. You might piss somebody off, or you might offend someone, or something like that. That's the you that comes out when you're drinking, not the true you. In psychology, in therapy, I was learning about there's obviously multiple yous. There's multiple me's. That's a very interesting question, and the interesting man that talks about this, his name is Alan Watts, and there's YouTube channels, plural, about Alan Watts, and he gives lectures and talks, and he talks about the you and the many different phases there are in that and the kinds of you there is, and that's a very interesting topic, and I love listening to Alan Watts. Very deep stuff, and it makes a lot of sense if you really listen and try and pay, not just pay attention, but you really try and understand. It's a very interesting premise. The version of you that somebody else created in their mind has nothing to do with you. That's the weird truth. I am not responsible for the version of me you created in your head. I'm not responsible for that. You did that. You made this thing. And I think a lot of times we see that with celebrities. You'll see somebody acting, an actor, usually you'll see them on movies or TV, and you think that they're that way. But really they're just doing their profession. Their job is to act like somebody else, is to make believe they are a character or a being or whatever they're doing. People project what they think that person is, and if they meet him in real life, that person doesn't always live up to those expectations, and then the person meeting the celebrity is pissed and like, well, why aren't you like this? Or vice versa, they expect the actor to be, maybe the actor plays a bad guy. I hear there was a different guy playing Captain America, and fans were getting pissed. I don't know. I don't particularly care for Chris Evans, who played Captain America. He's all right. I got nothing against him, but he wasn't my favorite. He's not my favorite Avenger. Chris Hemsworth all day. But anyway, the people were spazzing out. And I'm like, yo, he's just an actor. He's just a guy. Like, what you built in your own mind, don't push that on that dude. He's just a dude doing his job, trying to get paid and live his life. So the version of you in other people's minds is not your responsibility, and it's not your fault. It's their fault. And we all individually have to understand that we have to be careful of how we build people up in our minds and how we think about people and how we relate to them because of that. You know, a lot of people judge a book by its cover. We've been taught to not do that since we were little, all of us. Yet all of us do that. No lie, you do that. I do that. You look at someone, you're like, judged. And then even if you know you did that, you instantly have to be like, hang on. Is that fair? Is that right? Should I have done that? But it happens. You know, it happens. You get that snap reaction to people when you judge them. And you're not supposed to judge them, but you do. We all do. So there's many facets to you, to self. There is obviously, like when I was going to the bar all the time, and I'd meet up with all the bar people, they were all interested in the same thing I was interested in. They were all interested in going to a place, drinking their drug, and enjoying that for the evening. But you only ever saw that side of me. You know what I mean? You only ever saw the bar Kevin, the drunk Kevin, the party Kevin. And actually, it was funny. I thought of myself in 3 phases when I was drinking. There was the sober Kevin Donovan that walked into the bar. Then there was DJ Crazy Kevo, who was the fun guy. That's the guy you wanted to hang out with. That was the guy that was like 3 beers deep, who wasn't fucked up yet, had some alcohol in him, but he was still sentient, lucid, coordinated, could interact, wasn't drooling, wasn't spitting, wasn't being obnoxious, but it was a little loose, just a little loose. That's the window that I wanted to stay in, and I think that's the window a lot of people wanted to stay in. Well, that window closes because you really can't feel with alcohol. Alcohol's not a fast reacting drug. You drink booze, and it takes a minute for it to hit you. So you do a shot, and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. Well, give it 20 minutes, asshole. See what happens. Like, don't think that it's instant. It ain't. Don't give it 5 minutes. Be like, that didn't do anything. Hold on. That shit's got to get into your bloodstream. So let it absorb. In either case, there was Kevin Donovan, DJ Crazy Kevo, and then there was Mr. Smoothie. And Mr. Smoothie was named by a friend of mine, DJ Thaddeus, because once Crazy Kevo passed, once that window closed, and we were on to the next. After too many drinks, too many shots, Mr. Smoothie would come out. Mr. Smoothie was an asshole. And he was belligerent and mean and emotional and crazy and a lot of different things. And Mr. Smoothie was Mr. Smoothie because he was not smooth at all. He was actually quite rude and belligerent to a lot of people. That was wildly unnecessary for those poor folks that have to deal with. The shirt's too small. I'm trying to look good in YouTube, but I don't know. Anyway. Trying to actually avoid talking about Mr. Smoothie. I was trying to give myself a mental break when I talk about these things. They're actually a little bit emotional, a little bit deep, and sometimes it bothers me. Knowing that I behave that way is hurtful to me, and I regret doing that, you know. The part that I regret is that I don't remember acting like that. I would turn into Mr. Smoothie after too many drinks and be a completely belligerent asshole to a lot of people, be no fun, break things, wreck things, destroy stuff, act a fool, and do a lot of things. And I don't remember the majority of that. I was in blackout state usually when that happened to me. And people would tell me about it later, and I'd be like, I didn't do that. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, you did. And I'd be like, I didn't do that. Yeah, you did. And that's what made me feel the worst, is that it was a completely different person, and I was completely out of control. The only thing I can do after the fact is apologize, because you can't go back in time and stop it. You can't go back in time and change it. You just have to deal with it and move forward. And there's a lot of instances where people would tell me what I did or what I said or things of that nature, and that's a tough pill to swallow. Tough pill to swallow. You know, even the alcohol makes you into different people. That's what you use drugs for, is because you're not happy with who you are initially, so you want to transform into the next guy or girl or person, and you're happy in that window. And the problem is you're so happy in that window that you want to make that window like feel better. But the truth is, it only feels better in your own mind, because once you go too far, you're pissing everybody else off. And then you're actually doing more damage to yourself. Maybe you're spending too much of your money, too much of your time, too much of your energy. You're wasting yourself, being wasted past the time of enjoyment. And that line gets so blurred and just erased for many people with addictive personalities and addiction issues like myself, that you start drinking and then there is no off switch. There is no throttle on that. You don't throttle down. You don't back it off. You don't say, oh, I'm getting a little too drunk, I want to back off. Addicts don't do that. Alcoholics don't do that. We don't know that. We don't feel that. That's not what we feel. We feel, oh, this feels good. I'm going to do more of this until this says, okay, I'm good. The problem is this never tells you, that's enough. This tells you, keep going. It's a switch. It goes on and then it breaks. That's how alcoholism works. And people that don't have alcoholism don't understand that. Get a little off topic. I'm talking about you and the variances of you. My point was, I walk into the bar and I talk to all the bar people and drunk people, and they see the party Kevin, the drunk Kevin. So they see DJ Crazy Kevo or they see Mr. Smoothie. Those are the two people that they see. They do not see the Kevin Donovan that's at work all day, that's busting his ass. They don't see the Kevin Donovan trying to be a professional. They don't see the Kevin Donovan being a customer service representative. They don't see the Kevin Donovan that's solving problems, taking care of issues, you working with money, either incoming, outgoing, but trying to balance a budget and do things. Outside of work, they don't see Kevin Donovan, the problem solver, at home. Pipes that were bad. My bathroom, I had septic issues, and there was projects that had to be done. I had to work through that and physically get in there and do stuff. They didn't see Kevin the plumber. They didn't see Kevin the problem solver at home. They didn't see me do all this work to keep my homestead nice. You know, nobody watched me paint. I painted this whole house. My parents helped me a bit. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Appreciate it. And I had some friends come over for a paint party once. But the majority of this house, 85% of it, I painted on my own. You know, like nobody saw me do that work. I did that work for me. You know, nobody saw the construction Kevin busting his ass, working hard, trying to build a nice place to live. Also, people don't see the natural state of me, like before you go to bed or when you wake up in the morning. You know, that's a pretty natural state that you're in. You have to be really obviously calm and relaxed to go to sleep. And when you wake up, you're not instantly fired up. So people don't see those natural states that I'm in, and they don't see the natural, you know, how calm I am, or they don't see the peace and tranquility that I have. But they also, I don't let people see the sides of me that are the soft parts. You know, I don't let people see the emotional parts. In society, we train men from birth, essentially, that they don't get to use and share emotion. All men in general. In Western society, in America, where I'm from, this is what I know, my view of things. In either case, the regular dude, you only get so many emotions that you get to express. It is somehow looked down upon for a strong individual, male or female, to show a lot of emotion. And if one does show a lot of emotion, for some reason, that's perceived as being weak. I don't think that's true at all. And a problem we run into is that men, typically men, are not allowed access to these emotions, and yet they have them, so they show up and they have to deal with them, but they don't know how. And they're not given the tools to deal with that. They're not given the knowledge to deal with that, nor are they given the express permission to deal with that. So a lot of times you'll have hyper alpha males out there, and they'll run into situations or issues that they don't know how to deal with emotionally. And they're unprepared for that. So, and what happens to them? They get mad. They get angry. They get physical. That happens because they don't know how to work through emotions. They don't know how to deal with these things. They don't know how to express themselves in a mature adult manner, be it verbal or expressive in some way. They just, mad. That's a big cause for a lot of domestic issues. And it's not just on the male side either. That happens to everyone. If you find yourself bound up emotionally and stunted and abused, you'll release that. And if you don't know how to work through that in a constructive way, that's going to come out in bad ways. So not one person sees all the versions of you, and one person that knows you will build an image of you in their mind of what they think that is. You're not responsible for what other people think, and you're not responsible to try and change that or do anything. You just do you. And I also believe that it's interesting that the people that we allow into our lives, our best friends, our wives, our husbands, our soulmates, our connectivity people, our best friends, the people we love, people we choose to love, they think they know us all around. And sometimes, I'm not going to say sometimes, because I'm pretty sure that nobody, no matter how close they get, knows all sides of you, because nobody is with you as much as you are. You know what I mean? Even though you're COVID quarantined in the same house? Do you go to the bathroom together? You go in the shower together? Do you sleep together? Do you sneak out once in a while? Do you have a few private minutes? I'm sure you do. I lived with a lot of people before in many different situations. I always found alone time, did my own thing. That happens. And people, even though they're with you all the time, they're not with you every single second. The only thing that's in there is your own mind that knows what you did. And that's why you're the only one that can answer those questions of who you are and what you want and where you want to go. You can get help from other people, and an outside perspective is very advantageous from time to time. But typically, not everyone knows everything about you, even though you maybe even want them to. There's still things that people don't know or they don't realize. I wear contacts. I wear glasses. You've never seen me on video with my glasses on. I don't hate my glasses, but you didn't know that. I've been expressing a lot to you and sharing as much as I can with my audience and being very open. There's things that you don't know. So the only person that can really answer the question of who you are is you. The only person that can judge you is you. So when people say, that's the real you coming out, tell them to go fuck themselves, because you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You don't know. You don't know. People that judge other people based on outward appearance, you're an idiot because you don't know. And if you base a judgment on addiction, unless you yourself have gone through the battle of addiction, it's best just not to bring it up. It's best just not talk about it. I don't want to hear your fucking opinion about it. I don't want to hear your fucking thoughts on it. I know that you can be sympathetic and or empathetic to the plight of someone in addiction. I get it. But not having gone through it yourself, you don't fucking know. You don't know. Unless you've walked a mile in my shoes, shut the fuck up. So that was a little rant right there. I apologize, but it's just how I feel. If you don't know me, shut up. If you do know me, shut up. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Unless you want to improve my life. Unless you want to improve our day together. I love joking around. I love talking shit. I love being a procrastinator. Or I'm sorry, not a procrastinator. That's the wrong word. My thesaurus is shitty. What's not instigator is what I was thinking of. I don't know why procrastinator came out. I enjoy being an instigator. I enjoy needling people and getting a rise out of people. And I don't mind it when people do that to me. But if people are coming at me with some bullshit, it's like, yo, I don't need that. I'm out. I'm old enough now that I'd just be like, peace, I'm gone, bro. I don't need that shit. I'm out. Fuck you. I try not to let that shit bother me because people don't know me. There's so many versions of you and there's so few truths that other people know, and they draw their own conclusions. Like I said, the version of you in other people's minds is not your responsibility, and you didn't create that, and they did. We all need to know that that's not real, and you need to realize that you've created an image of someone in your mind, and that might not be who that person is. So you might want to be careful when you try and interact with that person because you think you know who they are. Or a celebrity, you see them on the street, or you go to a thing and you can meet a celebrity. Don't automatically assume that they're that person because they're just a regular person just like you, just like everybody else. They have emotions, they have feelings, they have time that they got to do this, that, and the other. You just want to truly just be kind to everyone. You don't want to force your views and opinions on other people. You don't want to force the way you think somebody else is onto somebody else. Calm down. And then here's the other crazy thing that goes on top of all of that. You have the ability to change, and only you have the ability to change yourself. Other people can't change you. The outside world can't change you. Nobody else can change you unless you up here decide to change yourself. That's the only way real true change happens. And that's the only way it sticks. You can make a decision, I'm going to do this, that, or the other. A lot of people will go on a diet, and they'll diet for like a week, 2 weeks, and then they're back to their normal thing. They made a change, it didn't stick. Only up here can you decide, this is a lifestyle change. I'm always going to eat this way, or I'm always going to exercise like this, or whatever it may be. That's the only person that can make changes. And sometimes this is unfair about life. You might act a certain way, like be an addict for 20 years of drinking hard, just act a fool all the time. Now that's built up in other people's minds. That version of you is always there. And now that you're outside of addiction and you're not that person anymore, people still expect you to be the fool. They still expect you to act like an idiot or do dumb shit or say dumb shit or act a clown. That's not you. That's not you anymore. You've grown past that. You're trying to grow past that. You're trying to evolve past that. And you want to leave that past exactly in the past. And some people don't let it go. That's unfair. But you can't change what other people have in their minds. So the best thing to do is just set your boundaries, set your borders, communicate that clearly to other people. Hey man, listen, that's back when I was drinking. I don't drink no more. I don't act like that no more. I'm trying to move forward. And that's pretty much all you can tell people. And if they get the message and they're good people and they're your friends, they'll stick with it. And if they don't, fuck them. You need to bounce. They don't need to be around. Not feeling loss when you cut someone loose isn't a loss. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? If you cut somebody off and their absence doesn't bother you, you didn't lose anything. So think about that. That's another interesting way to put that. So there's many yous. Take care of you. Take care of, what's in your mind. Always make the best choices for yourself, for your family. But also realize that the version of you in other people's minds isn't real. Isn't the truth. It's probably close sometimes, sure, but it's probably not the truth. Behaving a certain way and people calling it out, that's just unfair. Like when you get mad, that's the real you. Shut up. No, it's not. I hate that. The drunk you, the real you came out last night. Shut the fuck up. No, it didn't. The drunk me came out. When I was drunk, I was a chameleon. I wanted to fit into whatever group I was talking to. Don't get shit twisted. I guess that's the point of the video. Don't get shit twisted. The real you. Don't get shit twisted. That's what I'm going to name this. The real you. Don't get shit twisted. I'm going to wrap this up. It's been 30 minutes and 2 seconds. It's too long. I'm going to have to cut this down. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate all the views. Trying to grow this channel. The podcast will be coming soon. I'll check you guys again for another story time real soon. Peace.